Welcome to the English Writer, unless it's your first time here, in which case, hello, I'm Andy, and in this video I'm going to look at reported speech using the story we looked at in parts 1, 2 and 3 of the Poor Girl Marries Prince series. And so what is reported speech? It's basically how we say who said what and includes verbs like say, tell, report, explain, reply, answer, claim, announce, and many more. So I might say, the teacher said, learning a foreign language is amazing. Or, this country is great, the president claimed. So it's really useful and really easy to mess up, even among native speakers, sadly. But there are basically two ways to do it, direct and indirect. And they are easier for some language learners than they are for others. I have a really excellent high-level and smart native German-speaking learner of English who is still trying to get his brain around the idea of backshifting the tense that we have in indirect speech because it's not in German. So this video might be useful even if you think you already know all about reported speech. So, shall we get started? First, let's pull up all the examples in the text. You can see there are only a few, in fact, 4 examples of direct and only 1 example of indirect speech. Number 1 is a very clear example of direct speech. What makes this speech is first the thing that was said. So I'm just so happy to be with someone so wonderful. Then we need to show this is speech with speech marks or quotation marks. I use double, but some places use single. That is a style decision, by the way, so don't stress. Next, we write who said that. We could use another reporting word instead if we wanted, such as replied, explained, or admitted. And note all of these are in the past tense because the person, Cinderella, spoke before, not now. So now we just need to make sure we have all the remaining punctuation in place. First, we need a comma before the final speech mark, not after, because our sentence is not yet complete. And then we add a period at the end, and it does become complete. A complete and correct sentence using direct reported speech. The second example of direct reported speech follows this immediately. And because Cinderella is still speaking, we do not need to say Cinderella said. However, if the speaker changed, we would have to write who said the new words as in example 1. Examples 3 and 4 follow this same pattern. So now we will look at indirect speech. This particular example is a little more complicated, so I will simplify it a little in order to show you how we make it. Then I can explain what is happening in this sentence after that. So, the newlyweds are said to be making plans for a honeymoon tour following their whirlwind romance. This uses a passive voice, are said, with a present continuous, to be making. So it's a little complicated. It's probably easier if I make this an active voice. The palace said the newlyweds are making plans for a honeymoon. This kind of reported speech gives us the information without the need to use the exact words. So here I made the sentence a simple active sentence using the palace as my subject and said as my verb. But that verb could have been reported, announced, or some similar verb, and then the information. Simple. From this, I didn't need to change much, and this could actually be easily made into direct speech. The palace said the newlyweds are making plans for a honeymoon. Here I put said before the speech, and it's your choice whether you put the she said bit before or after the speech bit, in writing or in speaking. And that's it really. Although you may recall I mentioned something about backshifting earlier when talking about reported speech. Okay, backshifting is important to know as you get more skilled at English, but I kept it simple-ish this time. I'll look more deeply into indirect reported speech and use of backshifting in a future video. Well, I hope to anyway. So look out for that if you want to know more. And there is also a worksheet for this video and for others in the series. If you look in the descriptions below, there's a link which I will put there for you. Until then, check out one of the other videos in this series and look out for part 5 where I look at punctuation from the story, which is really important to know if you ever have to write anything in English. And before you go, if you're still here, please hit that subscribe button. Okay, thank you. Bye for now.